This could yet go that far, but hasn't been anything like a classic to date. Capriati starting the final set. You could almost see that coming from the ball toss. It's casual to the point of seeming a little bit careless at times. Yeah, look at that. Good serve. SELES just getting herself steady on the baseline and the drop shot thrown in. Beautiful tennis.
40-15.
That's what I was saying earlier. Maybe Capriati just needs to play to her energy levels, even if she does rush occasionally. And throw in the odd ball toss that's not ideal. It's certainly serving her well at the moment, and she holds at the start of the final set. So stats from the second set. Yes, there's 5 double faults from SELES, the last of which cost her the set. It's been generally a good serving display from the woman serving now. Love one. Well played. Great angle from SELES. Capriati doing well, but she needs that extra height, which gives SELES the extra time. And SELES knew exactly what she had to do with the ball, and did it. SELES having a bad time with the ball toss today. Another good serve. Good serving from SELES. She needed that game. Especially after dropping her serve at the end of the second set. Just see there that picture of Capriati a couple of minutes ago. Very angry with herself. 1-1 final set. Well, it wasn't exactly off the middle of Capriati's racket, but she did so well to get to the ball. And that's the difference between Capriati's drop shots and SELES'. SELES was a little bit more telegraphed, so by the time she played it, Capriati was on her way. Just gave her that extra metre or two. That's classic SELES. Taking the return of serve. And then the ball on the rise. You know what's significant about an hour and 2 minutes? Maybe someone had a bet. Well, she's had a couple of those, Capriati. Ball bouncing quite high. That was beautifully struck. Capriati taking the ball at the height of the bounce, whereas SELES tends to take it on the rise. Capriati holding for 2-1 final set. SELES 1-2 final set.
Second serve.
Again, that serve was not the swinging serve. That was hit without swing, but beautifully placed. And SELES has dropped just 1 point on serve in this third set. Two games all. Capriati serving with the new balls. That net's going to need renewing before the doubles final. Taking quite a pounding from these two. Hooked it slightly. And just a sniff of a chance for SELES. Easy put away, set up by a perfectly placed serve. Set all 2-all, 30-all. Well, that slightly wayward backhand gives SELES a chance here. Stefano Capriati looking just a little nervous. Break point. Two loose points from Capriati. She hasn't found her consistency throughout the whole match. SELES now has the advantage. A break up, 3-2, final set. That's been the feature of SELES' performance today. I don't want to repeat myself too often, but given that her serve is not really one of her strengths, can be one of her weaknesses. As her ball toss shows, she really has served extremely well for much of this match. Oh yes, beautiful. Right in the corner. That was taken on the rise. And here she follows it up with that. Not a bad serve from SELES, but Capriati should really have made SELES play at least one more shot. And Capriati, who's guaranteed to go to a career high 5th in the world, her first time ever in the top 5. Something that many of us felt should have happened a good 8 years ago, but her problems off court well documented. Looks like going into the top 5 with a defeat at this stage. 2-4 down, final set. Talking of rankings, SELES will stay 4th, whether she wins this or not. Close the gap on Venus Williams in 3rd. Williams playing very few tournaments at the moment and lost in the semi-finals this week. Last week, I beg your pardon, to Maggie Maleva in Nice. Complained of knee problems. 2-4, 30 all, final set.
40-30.
Great serve. SELES doesn't like the call. First time she's shown any dissent. But short-lived. Well played. And all made because SELES got a fair bit of topspin on this backhand across court, which meant Capriati had to play the ball below the height of the net. But she had to play the ball upwards, and that gave SELES a little bit extra time to get to it. Beautifully played, though, from the more experienced player. And this erratic serve is starting to haunt Capriati. Point for a double break and a 5-2 lead. Well, if Capriati loses this, she'll only have herself to blame. She's not playing anything like the consistent tennis she showed us in Australia, and SELES is one game away from victory. SELES serving for her 48th career title. Good depth from Capriati.
15-30.
She seems to know very little pressure, Capriati, when she's facing defeat. So SELES didn't in her glory days. Well, SELES applying the pressure.
Reveal.
And SELES is world number one. When she got down in the final set of a match, she'd just hit the ball harder and frequently power her way out of trouble. Well, it's not all been power today. Been a fair few errors thrown in from Capriati, but it's been a solid performance from SELES, and she now has championship point. How fitting it would be if she could serve a winner to the backhand. Oh, she's going for it. That's the serve that's really done her so well. That on a match point. It's beautifully played from Capriati. You could hear the grunting getting louder from SELES. That chopped back nowhere near the depth, and Capriati really with the court open, but she's used those drop shots so well. Well, it was championship point a minute ago. It's now point for 3-5. Oh, wow. That could so easily have dropped over. I think Capriati was due one to drop her own side. SELES not as convincing as we've seen her on some balls on that drive volley. A little bit safe, a little bit too much down the middle of the court. That's beautifully played. The wrong footer following up from the well-placed serve, and it's championship point number 2. That'll do. SELES at the net, but not having to play the volley. And she takes her 48th career title, stays at number 4 in the world. Capriati, even in defeat, for the first time in her career, joining the elite top 5 in women's tennis. Robin Reynolds, the press